Hi everyone, Jedediah Thomas, the Mind Master here. So today I wanted to kind of break down one of the beliefs that was recently shifted in me, so you can see not only how the belief developed, but you can also see mechanically how those beliefs play out in the real world. So the belief that I'm talking about today is it'll go on forever. Now, the way beliefs work are they're basically like, philosophically speaking, they're the binary coding of the soul. But how they play out in practical real life is almost like the operating system of your mind, right? So, yeah, there are other programs that run, but these are like literally the protocols that your mind will follow to death, right? And most people don't know they exist, and then nobody knows how to change them except for me and the couple people that I'm teaching how to do it. And so it'll go on forever sounds like just kind of like a thought of like, oh yeah, it just feels like it's going to go ever. But how it was playing out in my life, it was affecting so many areas of my life, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And even though I knew it was there once we figured it out, like you can't change your own beliefs, like you can't break through that barrier yourself. You need help. So this belief actually started when I was in high school. So I went to it was like a religious cult boarding school. It was headed by like a psycho-abusive priest. Crazy times, like some of the best years of my life, but also some of the worst years of my life in terms of like the amount of abuse that was there. And one of my responsibilities as, kind of transitioning from being a student in school, quote unquote, to having graduated to just being like a student that was living there is I had to work at the coffee shop, and it wasn't paid. It was basically like, slave labor type of thing, and I had to work. It was ridiculous hours. Um, I think it was like 6 days a week, 16 hours a day, something like that. So from the various earliest of the morning, 3, 4, 5 in the morning, whatever it was, I would have to go there and start the pizza oven and get the kitchen ready, and then I was there well until late until night until closing. So it was a full day thing, and um, on top of that, we had like evening services that we did as part of the religion, and then after that, you had other stuff that you had to do, and then you had on top of all of that a prayer rule. And for whatever reason, they decided to just like load me up on the prayer roll. And so I was already working, 16 hours a day. So then by the time I started the prayer roll, I should have only gotten about, 4 or 5 hours of sleep. But then it took me 2 or 3 hours to get through the prayer roll, right? Like it was just ridiculously long, and everyone else was like, 10, 15 minutes. But I would be so many nights where I was just like, I was the only person awake. I was pacing in the chapel trying to stay awake to complete my prayer rule. And it was just ridiculous. Like there was one time, well, so basically because of that, I was getting like, 2 or 3 hours of sleep on a good night. So there was like a 9 month period there where I was just like, getting 1 or 2 hours of sleep a night, which is crazy in of itself. One night I got so tired, like while I was pacing in the chapel, I fell asleep while walking and I ran into the wall, right? And so, as part of that, I'm pretty sure it was the prayer rule that caused this belief to form is that it will go on forever, right? Because it makes sense, right? It just feels like it's going to go on forever, and it doesn't feel like there's going to be any kind of a stop to it. And how it was manifesting in my life was it felt like I was hitting a wall, which is funny that actually happened, in fact. So, um, so that's where the belief formed. Now, as far as the actual wording of the belief, it was very problematic because it will go on forever. It could be anything, right? And it's not logical that it would apply to anything else, but the way the mind works, like I said, it literally follows that code to death. So it started tagging to a lot of other things, right? So when I would try to read, like I couldn't just read a book. Like I was keep having to like look ahead and see how long the chapter was going to be because it felt like it was going to go on forever and how long the book was going to be. So I never could finish a book. right? Because the only way to keep it from going on forever is to stop it ahead of time, which is not logical, but that's how it was playing out. It was affecting my ability to do work, because the workday felt like it would go on forever. The task felt like it would go on forever. So I got to the point where I could only literally do one thing a day, right? Like that was the one thing I do today, and then that was my entire workday because of this belief, and I couldn't get past it. And let me see, how else was it affecting me? Um, even with jobs, like with regular jobs. So like the work day felt like it would go on forever, but then jobs felt like they would go on forever. So I wasn't able to work a normal job, partly because of that, partly because of my health. But even if my health was good, I wouldn't be able to because the job felt like it would go on forever. So I kind of gravitated towards jobs that would be one and done type of nature, like sales, right? So yeah, okay, the job is ongoing, but each sales call would be finite, right? So that job would be done, or a construction job, like that job would be done. Okay, it's done. And then we have another one, and then it's done. Um, so with sales, then that affected me in the sense that, okay, I could do the sales call fine, but then I couldn't follow up because then the follow up felt like it was going to go on forever. So you can kind of start to see a pattern here. When I lay it all out, it makes a lot of sense why these symptoms would be coming about out from this specific belief that it will go on forever. Like say with construction jobs, um, any time the job felt like it was going to go on forever, like my ability to work would just like go to zero, right? And so it was something that was majorly affecting my productivity, like in a huge way. And I was able to get this fixed, last week or whatever, because one of the priests that I'm training in this methodology, and I feel like my productivity just like 1,000x overnight. Like literally just like I can do as much as I want in a day now. And it doesn't feel like it goes on forever. I just like, okay, it's the next task, the next task, the next task. Okay, now I just did like 15 things in the day before I even realized that I was working, which is crazy. Like my abilities are night and day from what they were before, and it's because of this code that was stuck in my mind because of this incident, and the wording was just really bad because it was tagging to a whole lot of stuff, right? It was affecting so many areas of my life, and I didn't even know. I felt like there was kind of like a mental block. Like I said, like it was kind of like hitting a wall, and I just couldn't figure it out until our recent diagnostics that we've been coming up with, and I was actually able to pinpoint first the situation that caused the belief, and then actually the belief itself. So that was a major advancement, and there's like three or four other beliefs that we've worked on in the last week. So I'll make different videos about them, so this one doesn't get super long. But you guys, like everyone uses the word belief, but nobody actually uses the definition that I use. What I'm talking about is something that nobody even knows about. Like, so you're like, oh, I believe this. No, you don't, right? Like it's like literally the coding of your mind, like the most fundamental operating level. And one belief shift can completely change your life if we find the right one. And that's what I experienced. Like, there were other ones around productivity and learning and whatnot, but this one especially was hindering my ability to do work because I could only do one a day to prevent it from feeling like it was going to go on forever. So if you have any situations in your life, any actions that are not rational, there is a reason for it. Like there's some code in there that's causing that problem, no matter how much you try and convince yourself, no matter like even if you do like hypnosis or stuff like that, that code is still there. Like your reaction to that code might change, like if you reframe it or whatever, but that code is still there. And I actually go in and change that code. And so you don't have to make up for it, right? Like you don't have to cope or compensate for this bad code. I actually can fix the code, and it changes your life so much. Like I can't even tell you how different my mind is from like 2 weeks ago. It's incomparable. Like I don't think I ever would have been successful in life had these not been fixed. So I'll make other videos about, the other beliefs that were shifted, how they formed, how they manifested in my life. Hopefully this has been educational for you. Look at your thoughts, look at your emotions, look at your behaviors. If you start to see patterns of irrationality, or when it's not lining up with what you want in life or whatever, there's some kind of problem, whether it's traumas or beliefs that needs to be fixed. And me and the people that I've trained are literally the only people on the planet who can fix this stuff. Nobody else can. Everyone else, at best, they can help you cope with what's there, but I actually fix it. I actually change it in a way that is not possible anywhere else. So check out the description if you want to join my Facebook group. Fill out the questions and I'll let you in. If you don't fill out the questions, I won't let you in. Like and subscribe if you like the channel, and just stay tuned for more content. All right, bye.